Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from Hasbro in their Star Wars Black Series line, we are featuring the Death Watch Mandalorian. Okay, so this is a figure that's been out for some time now, and I've been putting it off for such a long time, but I finally pulled the trigger on it. I grabbed this guy at a flea market. He was originally priced for $25, but the seller cut me a deal, and I essentially bought this guy for less than retail. And then I told myself, you know what, I really want to troop build and army build my Mandalorians, so I'm like, I need another one. So then I sought out this guy, got him for a reasonable price online. So hopefully this will start my small little collection of my Mandalorian militia. But keeping in mind that these are Death Watch in terms of their color scheme. But nonetheless, I think they're fantastic. If you're a big fan of like Bo-Katan and that last season of The Mandalorian, and if you really want to just like, you know, build up your troops, the Death Watch Mandalorian's a great start. The figure looks fantastic next to like Casca Reeves and Bo-Katan. So, you know, you can really just troop build and amass yourself a nice little army of Mandalorians. So let's get started. Alright, so the Death Watch Mandalorian. Beautiful looking figure. Really nice choice in terms of the colors. It's subtle, it's kind of matte, you know, it's not a glossy finish, it's not a satin finish. It's just, you know, it's very muted, but at the same time, it stands out. Very clean in the sculpting. The box art's nice. You know, if you collect these mint in box, or even if you save the boxes, you know, it always looks nice on your shelf, especially when you line them up with all the individual character artwork. On the back, we have a nice short bio. The Death Watch Mandalorian, an extremist clan that attempted to take over Mandalore during the Clone Wars. The Death Watch Mandalorians are tenacious warriors embracing the ancient traditions of their people. So this is a great looking figure. A lot of history too with the Death Watch. If you watch like the Clone Wars or Rebels, or if you're like familiar with the Siege of Mandalore and Lord Maul, you know, it's very, very intricate. It gets kind of confusing at times, especially with the lineage of the characters, but nonetheless, they're Mandalorians, and fans just love the Mandalorians. So, alright, so, very nice looking figure. It seems like it's on par with the quality of Hasbro's other Mandalorian designed figures, you know, whether it's Jango Fett or Boba Fett, you know, it looks nice. The one thing I can really appreciate with this action figure is the craftsmanship. It's so clean looking. You know, they don't take any liberties and get too crazy with like the, you know, the weathering or like the, you know, detailing of the figure. For example, you know, there's subtle scratches on the armor, but it's not like they like overdid it. For now, I'm just going to leave the weapons in the tray. We're just going to focus on the figure for now. I'm just feeling a little bit lazy today. I don't want to go all in on this. So let's take a look. Here is his jetpack. You know, very familiar Mandalorian design. Has the shorter missile on the top. I believe the boosters are articulated, if it's like the other figures. I think they could swivel slightly. But I wouldn't get too crazy with it. Because I know on some of my other figures, this, you know, the rockets can move, but this one feels like it's kind of stuck. And mine are kind of off-center with each other. One's kind of like bent downwards, with the other one's kind of straight. I'm thankful that it comes with a longer tab, because sometimes I can't remember which figure it was, but I remember I had a Mandalorian figure where the jetpack wouldn't stay on as snugly as I'd like, but this one seems pretty tight. It's decent. It's not going to come off. The helmet comes with the rangefinder, which if I had to guess is articulated. This gets into focus. Yeah, so this is articulated, nice articulated rangefinder. The helmet is not removable, so you're just getting a generic trooper. Again, I'm very stoked on the color choice. You know, it's not too glossy. It's just a very matte finish. And it's nice that there's some battle damage and scarring on the chest plate, but not overly done anywhere else. It'd be nice if you got little speckles here and there, but I think it's just the right amount. There is some, I think, I was going to say there's some color, it's a little bit disjointed in the colors. For example, the abdomen piece, the shade of plastic, is slightly lighter than the pelvic area. This piece is a little bit darker. And if you stare at it too long, it looks like he's wearing underwear over his tights. He comes with a holster for his pistol, nice detail. And I think the strap folds down. Yeah, this folds down so you can snap it back into place. And the backpack just fell off. It's kind of interesting because the vest piece here is kind of like a loose fitting piece. There's some give to it, which could be helpful in terms of articulating the figure. But at the same time, I think it kind of like got in the way of the jetpack. Yeah, the vest is interesting. It's kind of like almost like a very thin sleeve placed over the torso of the figure. I'm kind of curious what's underneath it, if anything. But overall, very solid looking figure. It looks nice. A different gauntlet design than Boba Fett. You know, I don't think this has the missile launcher or the flamethrower. The asymmetrical thigh pads, as you can see, his right one's a little bit longer than the left. Which for a design choice is kind of odd, because you figure the side with the holster would be on the shorter end, just because there's more space. Clean paint application for the symbols on the armor as well. You have some stripes on the legs, the chest, and the shoulder pauldron. Articulation. I think the most important thing is, does he look up? And he does. So if you want to get the Mandalorians in their flight poses, you could. The shoulder piece, it's attached to the joint on the inside, so it could rotate independently from the arm. But at the same time, if you need to move it in tandem, you could. It kind of hinders the movement a little bit going upward, but it's nice that it still has that range of motion. Single pinned elbows, but you have an elbow swivel as opposed to a bicep swivel. Articulated wrists. Cut mid-torso for swiveling action. No waist swivel. And I'm taking it back. The backpack has an issue. It just keeps wanting to fall off. At first I thought it'd be kind of snug and fit, but it just keeps on popping off whenever I move the figure. Yeah, there it goes again. Legs kick up. Single pinned knees with a swivel. Articulated thigh cut right there. And the ankles are also articulated. So it's a great figure. You know, I plan on army building these. At the very least, I want to get at least 4 of these. If I can find them for an affordable price. I don't want to shell out more than, like, I don't know. Ideally, I'd only pay like 19 bucks to 20 bucks for this, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, solid looking figure. A great addition to any Star Wars collection, especially if you're all about the Mandalorians. You know, Season 3, I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm really curious to see where Season 4 goes. I don't think we've seen the end of Bo-Katan's story. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. So hopefully we'll revisit Mandalore and Bo-Katan and see where her journey continues. And who knows, maybe they'll bring back the Death Watch. All right, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up.